Hello, this is Andrew Wee with the Friday podcast. Have you got a monetization game plan in mind? I guess one reason why I'm quite concerned is I've been on a number of forums and blogs, and I always see this question that keeps coming up. I have this site, maybe it's a movie site, maybe it's an entertainment site, maybe it's an iPod site, and the site owner inevitably asks, how do I make money of it? How do I monetize it more effectively than AdSense? I guess this is quite worrying because when you ask a question like that, you're typically going to get a single suggestion, or maybe if you're lucky, 2 or 3 suggestions. So someone might say drop AdSense, go for a CPA offer, or create your own product, etc. But the thing is, realize this, the fate of your entire site is going to rely or just be dependent on the type of answers you get. I think you will get some good answers. You might be able to increase your site income by maybe a couple $100, but does it really solve your problem? I think when you ask a question like that, it kind of shows a couple of things. For one, it shows that you don't fully understand your business, because if you know what your site visitors want, or your regular readers, or your members want, then it shouldn't be an issue to provide and give it to them. And you know that the moment you give your customers something they want, or you offer it to them at an attractive price, they are inevitably going to bite and going to buy it and going to create an additional income stream for you. So if you're not sure, you're not clued in on what your guys want, why not just start off with a survey? Ask them what they want. Ask them would they be willing to pay a membership fee to get premium content, premium access, exclusive private content created for them. Yeah. Ask your subscribers what they want, and if you build up the relationship, they'll be more than happy to tell you what they want. Again, the major difference, in my opinion, how the big boys and how I build my business compared to some of the guys who might not have a clear idea, have visibility on what they want to achieve in their business, is having a system in place. If you have a plan, it could be as simple as a business plan, or it could be even a complete system. Complete system where you have a clear idea how you generate leads, what you expect your visitors to do when they are on your website. Are they supposed merely to read the content there? Are they supposed to interact? Are they supposed to do some level of transaction? I think you kind of need the workflow, the whole process mapped out, because if you have a clear idea of what the guys are supposed to do, then it's just a matter of finding the bits, the strategies, the exact services to offer to them to get them to take the action that you need them to take. Here are a couple of pointers that I've listed that will help you in your planning process. First, what's the goal? What do you want to achieve out of your site? What's the objective? What's the reason for existence for your site? Are you there merely to generate traffic and perhaps sell advertising? Are you there to monetize by either being an affiliate and reselling some product, or are you there to create and sell your own product? What's the objective you have in mind? Because the moment you've listed it out, I think your path becomes pretty clear. I mean, the moment you have a destination in mind, to get to that destination is much easier. If you don't have a destination, you're going to be lost. You're going to pose questions like, I have this site, it's got 10,000 uniques a day, what am I going to do with it? Second thing is, what's the ownership of the site going to be? What's the long-term intention for ownership? Are you planning to hold it privately, have it as a privately held company or business for the long term? Or are you planning to flip it? Flip it either by selling it to someone else or merging it with another entity. Your objectives would be very different in both cases. When I'm building a site for just my own use, privately held, that means it wouldn't be something that I would sell or seriously consider selling. I would focus solely on profit. So I'm not disturbed by my Alexa ranking or my page rank or my Technorati ranking, because that doesn't make a difference to me. I could have a PR0 site, it could be Alexa 5 million, but if I'm making a 4-figure, 5-figure income from that site, I'm perfectly happy with it. But on the other hand, if you're planning to flip it, sell it, etc., at some point in time, obviously metrics like your number of total visitors, your page rank, backlinks, etc., are going to come into the equation. You might also want to show that you have sufficient sales volume, maybe not that great profit, so that it appears more attractive to buyers. So I think you got to sort these issues out: private or something that you plan to divest or sell away in the future. Another thing is also your position and your brand. What does your site stand for? What's the image of your site? There are too many sites that kind of focus merely on getting keywords into the domain and ramming out as much content that has the keywords stuffed into it as much as possible. Thing is, this doesn't create a pleasant user experience, at least for human traffic. So site stickiness is going to suffer. Take a look at some of your favorite sites. Some of them might not have the keyword, like going to a blogging site. Not every post might be about blogging. Some of it might have to do with other facets of your blogging business. So I think this is what creates interest in a site. Looking at the human point of view, looking at it from your reader's point of view, your customer's point of view. On that note, you also need to have an idea of what the site's going to promote. Is it going to promote a product? Is it going to promote a service? Is it just going to survive on advertising alone? Are you going to promote some widgets, etc.? So this stuff needs to be clearly labeled in mind. The most important aspect of your business probably is the who aspect. Do you really understand your readers, customers, members? If not, what are the measures that you can take to get a better understanding, to know what they want and provide it to them? Because it doesn't help to provide a new article every day if articles aren't really what your visitors are at your site for. If they're there to chat with each other, to interact, maybe introducing more social networking features, more community features would help your site become more sticky and more popular too. Finances are going to be important. You need to have targets in mind, so rather than taking whatever income comes along, you have to set targets. Again, I know in the early stages it's not easy, especially when you haven't earned your first dollar yet, but you need to have a goal in mind. Are you aiming for $5,000 a month, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000? Your financial goals will help determine the types of monetization strategies you need to have in place. Along with that financial element, your financial goal is tied very much to your resources or your budget. Budgets not just in the amount of money you're putting into your site, but also the time. And time and money are always the two major limitations. If you're not willing to put that much money into your site, be prepared to put a lot of time into it. And again, it's important to be realistic here. You can't expect to put $100 into the site and expect it to sell for $1 million within a couple of weeks or a couple of months. You could if you're putting in a lot of time, and maybe it might be possible. But again, I think it's very important to have a clear idea of what your effort and your expectations could be. So the thing is, avoid all the noise for the moment. Avoid things like site rankings, blog ratings, etc., unless that's going to be in your game plan. And I would advise for your first business, build it in a sense that you expect it to be privately held for a long time, because in that sense you get a better sense of what it takes to really build a business from the ground up. And once you have a plan in place, you have a system and more importantly, your system has proven itself. It's just a matter of going out and replicating the system and seeing similar results. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Have fun planning your business and bringing it to the next level. For the Friday podcast, this is Andrew Wee, signing out.